my name is Maddie, you can call me Macerly, and today you're watching Girls to Women, a series where I choose a matcher. You guys ask me questions on my Instagram at Macerly_official, and I try to answer the questions and give advice through my own life experiences. In today's video, we will be doing something a bit different because I will be talking about everything that I wish someone told me before I started high school. I am now telling you guys that so that you could be a bit more prepared when you start high school or when you just get into the habit of going to high school. So hopefully this will be a bit educational. Maybe it will give you a laugh, maybe it won't. Today I will be covering 4 things I wish someone told me before I started high school. I asked you guys what you wanted me to answer and you guys told me on my Instagram. So if you want to be featured in the next Girls to Women episode, all you need to do is follow me on Instagram at Macerly_official and answer the question when I post it on my story. Also on the topic of back to school, if you didn't already know, I did write an ebook about how to thrive in high school academically and how to get better grades and build better routines. So if you're interested in learning more about that and getting access to 2 exclusive videos and a full 30-page ebook, all you need to do is click the link in the description box down below. Also, happy back to school season for everyone who's starting school at this point in time. I wish you guys the best year ever, and let's get right ahead and get into this video. Just because you switch schools doesn't mean a dozen hot guys will just magically appear. I remember setting my expectations so high as a consequence of watching too many high school movies the summer before starting high school. Finally, I would meet an entirely new student body, and in it there was bound to be too many attractive guys to count. So on my first day of school, I looked around and, well, the student body was a pretty exact representation of what both my middle and elementary school student body had been like. Just a bit more mature maybe, but not at all as mature as I had envisioned. And that's the thing about totally unrealistic series supposed to imitate the high school experience. Firstly, the cast are all carefully casted actors who rarely look like actual high schoolers. And secondly, the cast are normally way older than actual high schoolers, which consequently leaves them looking way more mature. Because truthfully, a 16-year-old doesn't look that different from a 14-year-old. Just a bit taller and perhaps a bit more mature in the face. But that's it. You know, going from middle school to high school doesn't mean that everyone will just magically be looking like mature adults like series and movies portray it. The student body will still look like teenagers because that's what they are. Adapting to and coping with a new type of culture. Party culture. Going out of middle school, I had been to one party where alcohol and drugs were present. Just one. And I remember me and my friend were fascinated by, to us, this new type of party. It was so different from anything we had ever been to before. But when high school rolled around, this proved to be the new normal. I remember I found it a bit difficult at the beginning to find my role at these types of parties. You know, party culture, and especially high school party culture, is comprised of a lot of things that are new to people just discovering them, such as drinking, hookups, and for some even dancing. So I just took it slow. And what that means is that I didn't rush into any decisions. If offered alcohol, I would kindly decline until a later time and place where I felt ready, and it was 100% my decision and fully thought through. I know I probably sound like your parents or something, and I'm sorry about that. But I think the way that I have adapted to this new type of culture in my own way, taking things slow, is the reason why I have a more healthy relationship to partying and these things. So above all else, make your own decisions and try your absolute best to stick to them. I think the most important thing when discovering this new culture is to listen to yourself above all else. Do not let anyone push you into doing something you're not ready for or don't want to do. Secondly, it's really important to have a friend or a friend group there with you. Not only because it'll be more safe that way, but also because peer pressure is so much easier to resist if you have someone backing you up. So be true to yourself, bring someone you trust and that are in the same type of position as you, and I'm sure you'll do just fine. Oh, you thought hookups and relationships were the same thing? Try again. The many ways 2 people can express feelings for each other and decide what to do with them really caught me off guard when I entered high school. I figured that if two people liked each other, then they would flirt in school, perhaps hook up at a party, go on a date, and then become a couple. Sounds reasonable, right? Well, the truth is that that would rarely happen, or at least from what I've witnessed. Some people would have a crush on each other, hook up at parties, but never anything else. A few would go straight from flirting to a serious relationship, or from hooking up to a serious relationship, and others could hook up with 10 different people at a party, and the next day talk to them like nothing happened. I remember me and some of my friends would get really bothered by all the different mentalities towards relationships and hooking up people had, and consequently spent unnecessary amounts of overthinking situations and jumping to conclusions. However, what I found to be most beneficial after wasting a good amount of my own time was to set and keep standards and communicate to the other person what you want out of the situation early on. By doing this, there wouldn't be those misunderstandings where one person would be left feeling really sad and disappointed and the other one really confused. An example of this would be if, let's say, I had a crush on a guy and that I hooked up with him with the intention of later going on a date. But his intention, however, was just to have fun in the moment. That will leave me hurt. If you're not interested in casual hookups, set your standards and don't say yes to people who only want that from you. I'm not saying that you straight up need to tell the other person that you want a relationship, but it would be beneficial if you were to give a hint. You could, for example, say after something happened that you want to lead into something else, I would like to meet you again in a different setting. Just the two of us. And if the other person doesn't want that, then you know, and you don't have to spend tons of time thinking about it. However, if you do want casual hookups without consequences, then just make sure that the other party is in on it too. Lastly, what no one really prepared me for before I started high school was the amount of choices one is expected to take. Some people just ease through high school. They stick to their old friends, take the regular classes, hang out with the same people, do what everyone else does, and so on. Which is fine, by all means, it's their choice. However, what I failed to realize when doing this in the first year of high school was that I felt I was limiting myself. There were so many cool electives to discover, so many clubs and student-run organizations to join, and so many interesting people to befriend, all made available to me through the institution known as high school. But I had refused to take part in any of it. The thing is, you face a lot of choices that will have an impact on your life in high school, more than you ever had before. On one side, you have to choose your friend group and make choices when it comes to partying. On the other, you now have to make choices that will impact your future. What I mean is that what you do and decide not to do in high school, such as joining student clubs, taking an active part in the student body, joining sport, taking more advanced classes, doing good in subjects, and so on, is going to affect your future in a much bigger way than any similar choices you would have done and made before. You might not immediately see these things as a choice you do or do not take. However, they are. For example, you choosing not to join any clubs is a choice that will result in you befriending less people, learning less, and having less things to cite when applying for a future job, a college application, or even future clubs. As soon as I realized this, I started saying yes to joining everything, because I wanted to make the most out of what high school had to offer. But again, that was a choice I made that had consequences as well, such as having less time to spend with friends, study before tests, work out, or do YouTube. And that choice definitely wasn't good for my well-being. So keep all of this in mind when in high school. Think about that every opportunity you choose to take or choose not to take will have a consequence for a lot of years to come. So make choices wisely, don't miss out on great opportunities, but don't let things go out on your well-being either. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Before you click off this video, I just want to say one thing, and it's that I finished high school like 4 or 5 months ago now, and the thing I didn't think about when I was in high school, and the thing that nobody really told me, was that first of all, high school doesn't last for very long. For some people it lasts for 3 years, for some people it lasts for 4, and those 3 or 4 years will go by super quickly. So what I want you to do is just not try to rush through high school. Try to enjoy it while it lasts. Try to meet as many people as possible. Do as many things as you would like to do, and don't be afraid to do anything, because just like that, you'll be done with high school and you won't be able to do any of the things that you want to do in high school again, because you only get that opportunity once. You only get to go to high school once. Don't rush into and out of high school. Enjoy it while it lasts and have fun while you're at it. You're entering adulthood and you're getting older every single day and getting more mature every single day. So enjoy it while it lasts. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you, if you remember to subscribe, in my next video. Bye everyone! Mwah.